the Garrett Perry podcast. This is episode 27. I got a good friend and collaborator with me here in studio, Nolan Allan.
Hey. Thank you.
Oh man, I just wanted to say how great we are and all our fans, how much they love us.
Yeah, everyone knows who I am.
Do I have the right mic turned on for you?
Maybe not. I can't hear myself yet.
No.
Uh-oh.
Are we having problems with the mic? Let's just...
Gonna switch it over?
Yeah.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, there we go. That's much better. Why is my voice always so much louder? I'm going to turn this down a little bit.
I don't know. Should I just eat the mic? Okay.
Yeah, no,
We're good.
I'll talk back. We're good. We'll compromise in our own little ways. Oh, man, we have so much to talk about. It's unreal.
Oh, yeah.
It's so much crazy. What's the first thing that you would love to talk about? Put you on the spot, right on the...
Well, I'd like to talk about your project, your first GP Does PG, I guess.
Yeah, that was awesome. So I got really motivated to go out and create this video project. I just wanted to start building a virtual resume of sorts, just kind of show off what I could do. It wasn't really a focused thought at the time, but it's a documentary style of filmmaking, something that I've never attempted before. And I made maybe three. Man, you were watching these because we're coworkers, and it's pretty cool to see what your friends are doing.
Yeah.
But you're also an expert in audio. You went to school for it. I didn't know this at the time, but you volunteered to help out a little bit in any way you can.
Yeah.
And that is how we got started working together.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with the first couple of episodes that you did. And I really wanted to be a part of your shoot with Marcel Gagnon.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. Because we just kind of showed up. I don't think we really talked to him too much. It was Mike Vigano who really was an organizer in that one. He's just like, come on down. I think he just wanted more people in the audience more than anything, but
yeah,
it gave us this awesome opportunity to make this little documentary piece about him and then showcase a song, which I think we just recorded it with an H1 Zoom in the audience, and it sounded great.
Yeah.
And we've gotten better, and you've gotten more equipment over time. So now that you have an H6, we could get up to 6 inputs, which we haven't really utilized yet.
I think we used 3 of them so far.
And that was for the Joe shoot.
The Joe shoot, and for the acoustic...
with Josh Shan, which we haven't released yet.
Yeah.
And what about with Julian? We only did one microphone on the guitar for that one, right?
Yep.
JP.
Shout
out, Studio 720. They recently released or shared our...
Yeah, one mic on the guitar, one mic on the vocals.
Yeah, and then a week later we did a live concert film pretty much. It was a short one because we did the first 6 songs of their set, which was their album, which they released. And then they just went to their classic just cover music after that, and we just bailed. We're like, we got what we needed. Get out.
Yeah, I was really impressed with their live show. That was really good.
Yeah, it was awesome. The well-oiled machine at this point in time. Flying Machine just released a new album of Dogs and Days, I think it's called. I know you've seen the music video that they released, but have you had a chance to listen to the rest of the album yet?
No, I haven't.
It's on Bandcamp. Maybe I'll send you a link to it. It's pretty cool. They really utilize everybody who's in the band. So it's not just Dan Johnson singing.
Yeah.
I mean, it is him on lead vocals every time, but the rest of the band sing backup vocals this time around.
Mm-hmm.
And it has a new energy to it. And I believe it's partially because they have a violinist, a fiddler in the band now, which they didn't have before. It was great. I highly recommend checking that out.
The next time they have a date, I want to try to make it.
Yeah.
See if I'm not working then.
That'd be awesome. I know they're doing a Good Egg Records is doing a show where they have all their artists come. Apparently, the last time they did it, the gig lasted 4 hours. But I want to, this time around, when they get to it in the new year, I want to be there with cameras because I know they're going to get good audio of the whole night.
Yeah.
It would be kind of cool to make like a documentary slash concert film.
Yeah, it would be really cool.
Yeah. It's kind of like I see it in the style of the band Last Waltz, just except a little crappier, not with 35 millimeter cameras or anything, but yeah, just get a few cameras rolling and stick out in the back and zoom in really close so we're not really disturbing the audience at all.
Yeah, I think what we did at Studio 720 really worked out.
Yeah, there was like an energy to the recording as well. Like it came out. The mix that you did was truly awesome. It was a really good mix. I don't know. I didn't get a chance to fiddle around with the 16 tracks myself, but apparently, the rest of the band was impressed too.
Oh, good. That's what I was aiming for. I didn't do the tracking, but yeah, they gave me what they tracked at the concert.
Because Nick Tyndale's sound aficionado.
Yeah. Yeah, it came in a little bit like really low, but
we did such a quick turnaround too, because I think we only had it a couple days before we wanted to put it public to the world.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little bit late, but it came out really well. I think we intended to release it a week earlier, but we didn't get the files yet.
Yeah, that's right. And we're just waiting on the files, and we're like,
yeah,
because I had it all edited, because the style of editing was one of my favorite ones, where we just get 3 shots, and then I kind of comb through it and pick what is best, and then.
Yeah, I just brought the levels up, and because their preamps were so clean, it did not make a difference. Like,
oh, that's good.
No noise was introduced, bringing up the audio again. And yeah, it was just a really good performance. That's it.
Yeah,
bring it up.
In the future, we might be have the opportunity to produce a concert film with Roman Kovlowski, because he's doing an album release in the new year, and he's a really good musician. So I want to do some of our best work. It sounds like he has a bit of a vision, though, too, so might have to sit down with him and see what he wants to do and see if we could accomplish it. But that's all the better, right? The more energy, the better at this point. That's the thing, too, when some people are like, hey, I want to make a music video. Like, do you have any ideas? Like, yeah, you have a camera. It's like, I guess you don't really have an idea of what to do. And any kind of music videos that I've made in the past, I looked at recently. I did one with the Racket when they came to town, and all I did was just film them going around to all their separate gigs and stuff, and it's a pretty fun little music video, but it was such a documentary style. It's cool, but in the style of a music video, but just like the footage felt very documentational.
Yeah, so you still gotta do some brainstorming, and does he have ideas of what he wants to do with his brand? Is that the kind of
exactly. I'm not exactly sure. I never really inquired too much, because those are the 2 like huge projects I see down the line that kind of really excite me in some way. Like, this could be cool to do. Another possible thing would be kind of cool to do like a comedy special and do that, get the proper audio and get a good shot and and just have some fun with it,
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. Even if it is just straight up just the standard shot. I don't know. It's kind of fun.
That'd be really good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to working on anything coming up.
Yeah, we got a couple GP Does PGs in the can that just needs some editing to do, and that's where like the talk of mental health kind of comes in, because I don't know, it's totally directly linked to my mental health, apparently, my efficiency of editing these videos.
Just to have no motivation on bad days.
Yeah, exactly. Like when my mood is super low, even when I have a good mood, I don't know. But if I accomplished it and got the video chopped up and edited and shared, that would be something else too, right? Yeah.
You just gotta remember setting goals, I guess, that you can achieve, and celebrate them when they're
that's a big
there.
one too. How's your self-esteem there, Nolan?
It's good.
Is it? I've noticed mine has been like the worst, and it's just apparently it's always been really bad, and now I'm gonna have to like conquer this hill of like treating myself better and having better self-esteem, and it's weird.
Yeah, just working on yourself, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really what mental health should like boil down to, is just like trying to make yourself a better person when you're struggling.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been very public of mine. I had a huge meltdown. I didn't. I'm a little embarrassed by some of the things that I've done, and just like the oversharing that I did on Facebook. I feel like it kind of defines me a little bit as a person in retrospect, even if I do go back and delete those posts. But I guess it's just like a learning curve at that point too, right?
Yeah.
I haven't been sharing as much, but at the same time, it's just like, should I be sharing at all, or like when is the appropriate time to share?
Maybe how much you share and find other ways of venting,
Yeah,
like talking to people instead of
talking
to
everybody and no one at the same time in this weird Schrodinger's cat universe. Like,
Yeah.
you could read it. Everybody's read it apparently. It's just
I
like,
don't know. I'm very conservative with my Facebook.
yeah,
Very, very.
you do share some of the GP does PG media, but that's because you're directly involved. Just like get that shit out, stuff out there.
Yeah. The stuff.
The stuff out there.
Yeah. I usually don't like. I don't share any of my problems. I guess I'm very stoic that way.
Stoic.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Do you find yourself having some of these problems though? Are they all relatable?
Yeah, I understand. Like, being very stressed, I guess, like mentally.
Yeah, and is that something that you went through in your life?
Moderately.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, but you're also a little bit older. Not even that much older than me, but it surprised me when I found out how old you were. So I thought you were just younger than me or my age or something. But you have a kid, and he's pretty old.
Yeah, my son's turning 15.
That's crazy. You must have had him so
15
young.
on the 6th. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Shout out to Nolan's son.
Yeah.
Happy 15th birthday,
Yeah, Michael.
Michael.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the most stress I ever had was probably working at the call center that was downtown.
Oh, yeah.
I worked there for a year. And yeah,
Just a stressful environment.
it's a sales job. So, and you're cold calling strangers to sell them stuff, and that's
What a terrible job.
very frustrating.
Yeah.
It's really weird because you could even have like the best. It was really weird because you could have like the best. What you'd think would be a good deal, but people are just like, no. And it's
just no time. It's so disturbing. That's one of the reasons why I don't have a phone. Salesman. And then also getting called into work. Another insight to why I got fired. It's like, I don't want to get called into work. This is my day off. You should have scheduled me. And I was just unreliable in that way.
As far as stress, I think that was just like the pressure of having so many sales every day.
Right, the minimum requirements and stuff that is mandated on you by the company because they have to make more sales.
Yeah.
Or at least keep up the appearance of the same amount of sales as last time, at least. You don't want to decline. Yeah, I could see it being really stressful.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad though. I mean, it didn't really affect my at home. I just noticed that I would have nightmares though.
Nightmares.
Yeah.
Crazy. Do you get lots of dreams regularly?
Here and there. Yeah.
I've been having some crazy dreams. They kind of like, when I lost my job, I kind of lost the opportunity to buy marijuana as much, and it was illegal at the time. And then it became legal when I was unemployed. At the same time, I couldn't celebrate with everybody because it was expensive. Got to have rent paid for and stuff, and going on social assistance doesn't give you that much money to spend on marijuana. So, but anyway, one of the side effects of not having the marijuana is the dreams came back.
Oh.
Joe Rogan was talking about this on his podcast.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Because he was doing it was last year on Sober October. He was having vivid dreams. And I think I did too. And it's just kind of fun trying to remember them. A lot of them were I'd have this one that's like recurring where I'm like going to school and I'm just traumatized by that. But I guess that's a common thing that people go through, school trauma. It's not even like my school experience wasn't that traumatized. Just like having to get up and go to school, missing the bus. I don't know why I see that as like a nightmare.
Yeah.
Because I'm so punctual in my real life too. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just one of the only signs that I've ever shown as for stress. And eventually I had left that job and was much happier in a labor job after that.
Just move on up, eh?
For a while. Before I went to
Yeah.
school, I worked at the scrapyard. My grandpa got me a job there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need a break from certain kind of stresses, I guess, and then you just kind of bounce back.
hmm
Definitely didn't have any bad dreams after
So they went away.
even a month.
Really?
Yeah, I was just yeah, it's not.
Geez, some of these nightmares, they like go deep. I think that there's something wrong with me.
Yeah. So I left my employment there, and it was more like a relief. Okay, I can start more opportunities out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that I kind of fell into a trap where I felt, and definitely the trap was there, but it was not really anything trapping me. It was me being trapped in my own mind to an extent. It's crazy. You're listening to the Garrett Perry Podcast, 88.7 CFUR. Nolan Allan in studio, talking about some mental health and dreams. What was the particular nightmare that you had? Was they recurring or anything that stands out? Or
I think while I was working there, it was just dreams about not selling stuff. There's no matter what I'm saying, it's no, but why?
Yeah.
Other stuff. After going to school, I worked in the kitchen for a while.
Okay. So when did you go to school?
2006 to 2009.
For 3 years?
Yeah.
And that was the AI Art Institute?
Yeah.
In Vancouver?
Yeah.
When did you have your kid?
2003.
Okay. So you're a father returning to work.
Yeah.
Returning to school.
Yeah.
But you're so young at the time.
Oh, I think I had my son when I was 20.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you were an older student then by a couple of years.
A couple of years, yeah.
Not even that noticeable.
There was a lot of different age groups that went to AI.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, what was the old people then? How old were they?
35 and 40.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And
a lot of young people, but there was definitely a couple older people.
And then you went for audio design.
Yeah.
So that's working together is so perfect because you enjoy the audio side of things a lot more than I did, apparently. You could tell that I didn't have a focus of it at first.
I found that video-centric people ignore audio, and it's bad.
It is, yeah. I watched an early film of mine I made about 10 years ago, and
sometimes it's something you don't notice until you have quality audio, and then you're what have I been doing?
Yeah, it is so important. Audio, people will put up with crappier video, but they won't put up with crappy audio, it seems.
Yeah, it depends how good the content is, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. They'd be willing to put up with some crap if it was good content.
Kind of reminds me of I was watching Angry Joe on YouTube. You ever heard of that guy?
No, maybe.
He reviews video games, and he's.
Oh no, I haven't watched any of his videos. No.
Anyway, he does interviews and stuff, and his early days were just cringe because he'd be just have like a generic mic and it's not even, like interview style. It's not even in like using it.
Really?
And or he would have the mic only in front of the person and not coming back to himself to talk. So he can't really.
Only one person was on mic.
Yeah, and he's just like, yeah, it's good. That's good. And I'm like, oh, I'm cringing so much. Like,
so he got better at that though.
Kinda. I wouldn't say that he values audio as much as he should. It's kind of interesting. Like,
yeah, it's kind of cool. Like sometimes when I find out about new podcasts or just finally have some time to watch them, I'll like to go back to some of their earlier podcasts and see how they've grown. And if someone goes back to the very first Garrett Perry podcast, it's a world different. I think it was only 8 minutes long. The audio was good, but there was like this strange over reverb effect going on.
So the sound of the room comes from not having the mic close.
Yeah, but it was just me talking into it, but it was like an effect on GarageBand that I put on it the first couple episodes.
All right, yeah.
And then on the 4th episode is the first one I did in front of a camera, and I was super nervous. And I think that one ended up being 4 minutes long. Mm-hmm. Just kind of like a quick little pop in. And then didn't really evolve much from that until the 9th episode when I had Joe come on for the first time. I went home, so I brought my camera with me and I interviewed him, but I didn't have any mic. It was just the camera mic. So
yeah,
I guess I had Corey on episode 6, but it was the same problem. It was just the camera mic, right?
Yeah, I think one of the things that they said at even at the school was said like 70% of your professionalism is in your audio.
Yeah,
like you can have like,
and that's probably why Seifer have these wicked mics that we're talking into now.
Yeah, so you can have like the most professional video, but if your sound is not as good,
you only have a 30% of your product.
It doesn't feel like a professional product, even though you have great visuals.
Yeah, that makes sense. I agree with that.
Yeah,
that's maybe I would say even more, 90%.
Yeah, well, it depends. But yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of been fun playing with audio throughout the years, shooting little videos in high school, and
yeah,
sometimes we did overdubs. We did where we muted the audio and we had the actors repeat their lines into a microphone. I don't even think we needed to do it, but it was just something that I was interested in trying.
Replacing the dialogue?
Yeah, and the microphone that we were using to replace the dialogue was terrible. One of the lines was just, pickles. But every time he said the P, it popped the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
So in the video, we just had him say Eccles.
Oh, it's cut off the front? That's funny.
We just had him say Eccles. We didn't even cut it off. But it was cool. Definitely gave me more respect for other people, but then I never really had the opportunity to work with somebody who was actually passionate about working with something until maybe I could say with Devin when he was helping us out with some of the videos early on with I think he helped out with the Garrett and Carl show.
Yeah, he has a great passion for filmmaking.
Yeah, and that's why he was, when we were talking about including myself in the videos a little bit more, I wanted to get somebody to operate the camera, and he was the first person I thought of. And he said yes. So we did. And sometimes he can't make it or something, so I can just...
We all got schedules right now.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody's busy. At Christmas time is super busy for everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, I'm just... hopefully I'm going to get these 3 videos out sooner or later.
I think in relationship to going to school for media, I find it's less necessary.
Yeah.
Kind of with the University of YouTube tutorials.
Yeah, there's some good YouTube tutorials out there. You don't even need to go to school at all.
Yeah, so if you only that, and you kind of have to create your own work anyway in that field. It's like, do you want to spend money training, or do you just want to spend money on the equipment and just do it?
Yeah, exactly. And then in the art of just doing it, you learn a lot more, and some would argue even more than you would learn in a school environment.
Or are you just like practical right away? Oh no, things aren't working.
If you had to do it all over again, would you go to school?
I think I would. I had a really, I guess my interest in going to school for audio came from in high school and to now. I was very big film fan.
Just like feature films.
Watching movies. Very interested in the quality of theater sound. The idea of like the 5.1, 7.1 surround sound.
Nice. So have you ever done a mix for 5.1 surround sound or anything?
In school, I was able to do that.
Cool.
At home, I only have stereo. I would need
more.
A couple of extra audio interfaces to do that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I know I have the capability with some of the programs, but I don't have the speakers or anything. So
yeah, just as long as you have like 6 outputs, then you can have like discrete surround sound mix, and you just have to encode it in Dolby Digital.
Yeah, that sounds kind of fun. There's been sometimes watching just films on DVD that had 5.1 surround sound, just like having people behind you.
Or even in the early video games on PlayStation, like Final Fantasy was in Dolby Surround. I was like, what is Dolby Surround? This video game is in surround sound. I want to check that out.
That's like so immersive if you set it up properly. That's awesome. I remember my friend setting up Metroid with Dolby Surround sound on the GameCube or something. Yeah. Like, whoa, that's cool. Yeah. Like there's people behind you.
Yeah, just learning about all the technology. Matrix surround sound, the Dolby Digital, this discrete stuff.
So did you have a chance to do any audio for any video games or anything?
No, but I probably should have reached out. I mean, if you're going to go to school for this technical stuff, the biggest advantage that you're paying for is the social network that's there, meeting people in other programs.
Right.
Connecting with film people if you're in audio, and vice versa, or connecting with the video game department because they do video game training there too, developing video games.
Did you have to make like a sound reel or anything?
Yeah. By the end, we had to have what do they call it? A portfolio done, which included like DVD menus and audio CDs of whatever we had. Something to give to somebody. It's like your resume pretty much.
Nice. I remember fiddling around with some DVD menu technology. I don't think I got good at it. It was like drawing a map. There's so many things going in, and then you'd have to like make background video and then the background audio if you wanted that to make it look good. I never made it look good. I just I was like, oh my god. But I gave it a real attempt.
Yeah, so just interested in like the home surround sound, like how they got things to work. Why things sound the way they do, like
what's the next step towards audio past surround sound? Is there anything, or is that
the new stuff? They have speakers that are like above your head for helicopters and stuff that's like
is that more like the 7.1
adding height? No, it's like you need like 10 channels I think to do that.
10?
Yeah.
Crazy. That sounds pretty ridiculous.
Yeah.
But that's like a fully immersive. That'd be kind of cool to pair up with virtual reality.
I'm trying to remember the Dolby Atmos, I think it's called.
That's a lot of speakers.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It would be kind of crazy. This is probably very minimal content that has that available though.
Yeah, so I had a lot of interest in that stuff. Also, I was in the drama class for one semester.
In high school?
Yeah, and I was terrible at remembering my lines.
Did they have any video equipment or anything, or was it just straight up drama?
It was just drama, but they kind of worked towards having a play for Remembrance Day. And for the play, they have they need people to run all the tech stuff, and that's what I did. And I really, really enjoyed that.
Oh, cool.
It's like rolling tape and bringing up the levels to where they need when they need to say their lines.
Oh, intermission.
Just resetting the video for later consumption.
Yeah, for the people at home listening. Yeah, it was kind of cool. I was a part of the drama class a little bit, but there was also a film component, so that's where I really stood out. Um, Apparently, they just started it when I was in grade 10 and I was unaware, but that's also when I got a video camera. Before that, I was making drawings, stickman animations, imagining animating it and stuff, and not being able to, not knowing how to, and then slowly figuring out how to make some rudimentary animations with Windows Movie Maker and Paint.
Oh, yeah.
It was kind of fun, and tough. And when the big musical happened in grade 12, I probably could have got cast as the lead if I wanted to, because it was an elephant. It was the Seussical. But I didn't really want to act. So I ended up filming it and putting together like a DVD of the performance. And that would have been a good time to have a sound guy.
Yeah.
But I just had the sound person, and one of the cameras captured it good enough, at least,
Yeah.
that you could hear everybody and the music and everything in the crowd. It was a good live performance mix, and I edited it to that. Had multiple cameras one night, and then on two separate nights I came and did pickups.
Oh, cool.
Ones that like I knew I was missing shots. I wish I was quicker on the edit to know some more of the shots that I was missing, but that's another level. You gotta be on top of things like Robert Rodriguez, know exactly what you're doing, what shots you need. Only have one roll of film to make a feature length film.
Oh,
Back in the days,
his crazy budget movie.
His very first film that he made, he borrowed a camera, spent all this money on film stock, didn't know if it was going to develop properly. He was just like, but it's a good movie. I enjoyed it more watching it in its because it's in Spanish with subtitles. I have it on VHS now, but it's the dubbed version in English. I don't enjoy it as much. Doesn't seem as classy to me.
El Mariachi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. It was really low budget, but it was just like, well, it's a pretty fun idea though.
And the action is crazy.
Did he say like he hired like all of his cousins and
yeah, all the big guys?
Budget came under like $7,000 or something. Like,
yeah, and the part of the story is that he was doing medical testing on his arms, so they would like cut out. He has a triangle, like a diamond cut out on his arm, because they needed the skin sample for this whatever testing they were doing. So he got a big portion of the budget by selling his body to science. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I want to hear more about the story about the guy that made The Room, which was apparently the worst film ever made.
Oh yeah.
And they made a movie with James Franco about the guy. I think it's on Netflix now, but I think they just called the movie The Room as well.
Oh yeah, it's a good cringe movie.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
So you've seen it?
It's funny. Yeah. Well, it's just at times I'm just like, oh, it's uncomfortable at the same time. It's one of those, yeah.
Like, could he have done it on purpose and made it uncomfortable like that, or is it just so bad that it's uncomfortable?
It's just so weird. He's a weird guy. Like, no one knew what he was doing. It was really weird.
Like, everybody in the film is all confused.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was. Yeah, it's worth checking out the movie about the movie, but
not the movie itself.
Yeah, it's like so bad it's good.
Yeah, you heard that a lot from like Plan 9 from Outer Space. Is the worst movie ever made, and it's just boring. There's sometimes where it's like very early on where the shot of the vampire guy, I can't remember his name right now, but just a poorly framed shot. I guess it's fun when there's like a good environment. I imagine one of those live screenings of it where everybody's like heckling at it and it's half a comedy show, half a screening of this movie. I think would be a good experience as opposed to watching it alone. It's just like, this sucks. But then again, I felt the same about the best movie ever made. I didn't even watch it all. I got bored. But maybe that's just more of a comment of society. And just like,
Which movie is that?
Citizen Kane.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think I downloaded it once, and I'm like, I want to
I
be
can't
a movie
remember if I've
buff.
seen it, but I think I should check it out.
Yeah,
Again, if I didn't.
Orson Welles, and it starts off, and he's like dying, and he's like, Rosebud, and he drops the globe, and then it's kind of like a documentary on this guy who's a reporter, and then I think I tuned out or something. Maybe I fell asleep. I don't remember. I didn't give it an honest chance, probably. Maybe it is the greatest movie ever.
I gotta watch it.
Yeah, if we're talking crazy movies, I watched Eraserhead, and there's been times where I've tried to explain it to people, and it's just impossible.
Yeah, it's artsy fartsy movie.
Yeah, that's a good explanation of it, actually. That's all you need to know. Oh, but like disturbing at times too, when he has like a baby with this girl, and the relationship with the mother was really, really, I don't know.
Doesn't feel like reality, but it's
just so uncomfortable. And then they have this little demon baby. I don't even remember. Does he kill it?
I can't remember.
I
did watch it a long time ago, but it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Weird movie.
David Finch? Who does it?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Now that's a film. It just resonates with me for some reason. Just like, that's just terrible.
Yeah.
Have you seen any other bad films?
Really bad? Not really. I avoid them. If I can. I'm not a paid film critic. I don't have to watch bad movies.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's a good idea. Good thought about it. I do love watching crappy movies, old movies.
I don't know. I don't really.
I enjoy the mistakes, like when I'm watching Evil Dead.
Even that's not really.
It's pretty good, but it's low budget, and you can see all the mistakes. I watched it so many times, though. Now I could point out every mistake in the movie.
Yeah, I love that movie, though. It's a good comedy.
Was it?
Yeah.
Evil Dead? The third one was straight up slapstick. Like
maybe it was Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead, they actually did a serious...
it was the Army of Darkness. That's the one where he goes into the past, and he's like medieval time. This is my boomstick. Yeah. That one's hilarious. But it's like kind of take a weird turn on this original horror movie that was actually pretty terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, just the creatures in the basement.
I'll swallow your soul.
Yeah. I never really got to watch a good copy of Evil Dead 1. I rented it, and it was like almost unwatchable. Like,
really,
the magnetic tape was like so worn out, and there was like pieces missing.
I've seen it on VHS a couple times, then we watched it on DVD, and it was just so much more clear. It was actually like a little bit worse because you could see like a crop. They cropped the moon into some shots, and it was like an obvious square crop. Never noticed that in the VHS copy.
Yeah. Well, how did I... So after I finished going to school, actually, I had a job with MDA. They're a corporation.
MDA?
Yeah, that's what they're called. McDonald, Detweiler and Associates.
Oh, sounds like a drug... That sounds like a drug company. MDA sounds like a
They're a corporation that has their fingers in probably a lot of pies.
Just like Jim Pattison has his fingers in everything in BC.
Yeah. So what they had there was they were looking for an all Aboriginal media team to create educational resources for small water operators, because there's a lot of problems with water on the reserve. So they're trying to get... There's a lot of professionals that don't want to move there. So their idea was to train people that are going to live there to take care of their water there. And so what we were going to do is create like a website. They chose to use Flash, which ultimately was the doom of the website.
Was it like a move up Prince George kind of thing?
I'm not sure. Because
it sounds like you're trying to get people to move there, right? To work for the water.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
propaganda-esque site.
Yeah, we created definitely propaganda. Yeah, just convincing someone that lives in the community to do the training, and just like a visual help, I guess. We had kind of had like what do you call it, lesson plans, and then you'd go through. I was responsible for recording the dialogue. They decided that they wanted my voice on there, so I guess my voice
cool.
was on there, telling people how to do math and stuff.
Interesting. What an awesome gig.
Yeah.
Doing the sound, get to be the guy, be the voice of the project.
Yeah, I got to go spend the summer at UVic. They borrowed some of their computers and stuff there. I had
Cool.
my own computer. I used mostly all my own stuff. We developed inspirational videos too with my good friend now, Buck Nelson. He lives down in down south. Yeah.
Still in Canada?
Oh yeah, yeah. He's still in Canada. He makes a lot of good stuff still. He went back to school again, and his videography is just amazing. Yeah. So we worked on that together in good old SD 480p.
Nice.
Yeah.
Back in the good old days. Now everything's got to be HD, or else it's not even worth it.
Yeah. If one thing, my schooling definitely prepared me for that job, because I did everything by myself for audio. over there.
Really?
Yeah.
You're listening to the Garrett Perry Podcast, 88.7 CFUR. Got to squeeze those in. Nolan Allan, my very special guest. I always feel like those disturb the podcast. This is like, and then what were we talking about?
Hold it. I got to talk about myself in my podcast,
Yeah, exactly.
which is totally fine. I think you should be plugging more.
We should do. It'd be kind of cool to have like some ads. I think a good place would be do some content for would be Move Up Prince George. I wonder if they'd ever be interested, and we should shoot them an email or something.
You got to start writing down your ideas and
Oh, that's what I got this notebook for.
proposals.
Move Up Prince George.
You're talking about writing a proposal and then bringing it to somebody.
Yeah, at one point I was thinking about that, but just my mental health kind of got in the way a little bit. I wanted to do like a Story Hive pitch.
Mhm.
Still a possibility in the future.
I would always have that on the burner.
Yeah,
Like if
I
not
should-
this year, next year. If not next year, they do it every year.
Yeah, and Devin has been bringing up this idea of doing a mental health documentary. I think it's a good idea. Just needs a little bit more work put into it at this point. But I think that'd be perfect for a pitch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to do a short film at one point about my fictional band Pink Riot, and I have a script ready, and then I had a script written a long time ago, and then instead of going back and rereading it, I decided just to try and write it again from memory, but I forgot half the stuff that happened. But then I ended up like coming up with a better script, I think. And I was trying to keep it simple so it would be really easy to shoot, just like a few shoot locations.
Yeah.
And the thing is, there was a time limit too with the Story Hive. I felt like the project had to be at least 15 minutes, but I'm sure I could have cut it down to 10.
Yeah. Yeah, stuff like that, you can always have it going because they do it every year. I wouldn't even feel bad about missing a deadline.
No, yeah, it's kind of like more an idea. Just like the idea of doing stand-up comedy. I don't know, I'm kind of scared to doing it right now.
You're going to go do open mic this weekend?
They do it every month too, and it's just like, I don't know why. I don't really have any material written down. I have a few concepts that could be a joke.
Are you going to... Do you think you'd do the concept way, or would you write it all down like Seinfeld?
I think I'd have to do it the concept way and try and just be comfortable enough to talk about it.
Just have...
The one time I tried to do kind of stand-up comedy, but I did it in front of a camera, but I just like dressed up nice and put a microphone there like I was doing stand-up comedy. I got so nervous. But there's been occasions where I've been in front of people and speaking, and apparently there's no nerves going on there apparently.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of weird, actually, because apparently people say that.
So you'd actually probably do pretty good at stand-up if you're not going to get nervous. No stage fright.
But that's the thing. It's like I have this anticipation anxiety, which was confused with a social anxiety for a while. But it's just like once things are planned, I get anxious about it.
I'm almost amazed that you're like in live media then. That's nothing but anticipation.
Yeah, that's
2 minutes, 1 minute,
I guess I got used to it.
30 seconds.
Yeah. And 30 seconds. I was the
10
guy
seconds.
calling that in. And it's just like, you're live, and then, yeah, it's kind of hard to be comfortable. But I'm getting better at it. Having no pressure, no producer. I guess I'm the producer at this point.
Yeah, you gotta start owning stuff.
Yeah.
And then you'll feel better about it. You're the producer right now.
That's true. I want to bring in a producer. I want to do the C4 live videos that they used to do up here and just bring that back. And that'd be awesome. I want to do an interview just like this, but I want to set up an extra 2 cameras and do it a little bit more professional.
Yeah.
I only do 1 camera because I'm lazy, but I do want the video aspect.
Yeah, it's the only one that does more than 15 minutes. Is that what it was?
Yeah, this one shoots for 30 minutes. But like the interview that we'll do for the C for YouTube and website, it'll probably be about 20 minutes, I'm expecting. I don't expect it to drag on too much. But there is no limitations at the same time. We could just go forever if it's really good. Depends who we could get in. They had Gary Felgard come in. I could imagine that would be a good interview to do. That'd be awesome.
I think you have a lot of really good ideas all the time. I think it's like refining it down. Take some time and like just let the idea sit and refine it a little bit.
Yeah.
Like your last couple shows, I really enjoyed your playlist. And the amount of like local music knowledge that you have is very vast compared to a lot of people. A lot of people don't know what you know.
Yeah, because I guess I spent some time like researching it and looking it up and just being enamored by it, and just like what people made CDs and people made vinyls even. Like that was kind of a trip, finding out whenever you see Prince George on a vinyl on the back, whatever it be. I don't know, for some reason I found that interesting.
Yeah, just the idea of your playlist, I was like, wow, what if you like focused like on one band and you're able to get interviews of people that know and just kind of pre-record something and then bring it up here.
See, that's what I kind of imagine being the Seafer videos with that interview, and then whatever songs that we get, we could cut together a sick little show.
Yeah, I was thinking I like what you had, but I was like, oh, what if you just put it like a little bit more time in there and you can really have like biographies, little mini biographies about Prince George every week.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Play like a whole album. That's usually about 40 minutes worth of content there. And then it'd just be trying to like fill up the other 20 minutes.
20 minutes, that would be perfect. You can just just say what you know, because you know all this stuff off the top of your head a lot of the time.
Yeah, too. It'd be kind of cool to do maybe a little bit more research too, and try and find out. Maybe even get like a little interview clip over the phone or something. It'd be fun to borrow my sister's phone.
Yeah.
Get
maybe
the mix.
Email gpdoespg@gmail.com about ideas, if that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, I'd love to work together. Kind of the collaboration process of GP Does PG has been awesome. For me, at least. How has it been for you? You feel?
I'm happy and proud of what we've done so far.
Yeah. And it sounds like it's gonna go only upwards and outwards from here too. So I'm pretty excited to kind of buckle down and get these few stragglers of the season and planning a proper season 3 as sorts.
Yeah, we got lots of time to just talk to everybody who might be interested.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. I'd like to do like maybe a specific, like doing that shot with Good Egg Records, doing that feature film or whatever, could easily be busted down into tens of GP Does PGs in that one night.
Yeah. Just
because of the way that they're doing it. Depends how we decide. Maybe feature film first, GP does PG second, or maybe the other way around.
Yeah.
Be kind of cool. Maybe have the GP does a little bit more fleshed out because it won't be stretched for time. I kind of like the long form media out there, like podcasts.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that. We have a friend in common that we used to work with, that I used to work with, that just releases podcast. Maybe we should give him a little shout out. But how do you find it?
Well, let's say our friend has his new podcast at FreezeNet. Is it FreezeNet dot? I can't remember now.
It's at FreezeNet. I'm sure you could just Google that. Let's just Google it.
Yeah.
FreezeNet, 2 words.
Yeah.
No, maybe one word.
Make it one word. It is one word. So it's freezenet.ca.
Yeah.
So our mutual friend likes to keep an eye on the news of copyright.
So it's like very specific copyright website, and he released a podcast, and apparently it's only 15 minutes.
Yep.
Does he release his name in it?
I would say just it's at freezenet.ca.
At freezenet.ca.
And it's copyright centric. There's also video game reviews and
music reviews. He only releases video game reviews that have been out for a decade. Something like that. So some of his video, I think he started doing N64 video game reviews at some point.
Yeah.
And Super Nintendo N64, that's my jam.
Yeah, so yeah, he just recently got into the podcasting thing.
And you offered to help him out too, so that'd be kind of cool. Have some extra credits.
Yeah.
Producing a podcast.
Yeah, if he's interested, I'd like to help out.
Yeah, I hope he follows up with you with that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, a lot of his stuff's pretty interesting. Like he's got talks a lot about copyright and like the new laws people are passing in Europe and stuff. It's the changes in how you can use someone's intellectual properties changing and you don't even know it. Yeah.
It's a quite a complex issue. Apparently Disney just like extended the copyright laws somehow once Mickey Mouse
one and again every time the copyright it gets extended.
But it's over 100 years old. That's the way I thought it worked, is like the copyright at the high end could only last like 100 years or something, or 60 years. Maybe it was like depends by country.
I think we can pretty much assume that as long as they want to make it so as long as you're using the intellectual property that they get to keep it as a corporation.
So if the corporation fizzled, then it would go into public domain? Because apparently I heard that the Happy Birthday song went into the public domain. Apparently Hallmark owned it before the copyright or something.
Oh.
So now you could officially sing Happy Birthday without paying any royalties anywhere you want.
You're going to see it in the movies again, finally?
Yeah.
Or at restaurants?
And the Beatles, apparently in Britain the copyright laws are only 60 years. So apparently some of the early Beatles tracks are going to be heard everywhere because lost the copyright on it.
Oh, there's going to be lots of remixes.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Maybe just covering the music and releasing it. It would be kind of a fun idea. I like House of the Rising Sun is a song that's in the public domain. So you could sing it, but the people that made it famous, their versions that they sing it is copyrighted, so you can't. It doesn't work like that, apparently.
Is it more like the mechanical license stands, but the idea, you can use it now?
Yeah, like you take the lyrics and the music and re-record it. Like even like symphony orchestras that are doing these old Mozart compositions that are hundreds of years old, that's all in the public domain.
All the new film music, most of the film like music that you hear, it's all like old classical stuff, and they just slap their name on it again and they get the money for it. I like the audio soundtracks of movies like Lord of the Rings and stuff, where they're like new compositions in orchestra format. They have a lot of choirs and stuff. I love that stuff.
Yeah, a lot of composers are inspired, and then there's like
composers that just like it's just verbatim rip off, and they get paid for old classical music.
Hey, all the power to them. That sounds awesome.
You ever just look up music rip-offs for? You'll hear them all.
I remember playing even video games would rip off music. There was this Carnage game on the Super Nintendo. You get to the first or second boss of Doppelganger, which is a Spider-Man with 4 arms.
Oh yeah.
He the music is Black Sabbath, Mob Rules, like Dio era. I'm like, dude, when does Dio start singing? This is ridiculous how similar it is. It's just like
I think the whole Doom composition was like that too.
Really?
It's all like either metal inspired or just like verbatim rip-offs.
yeah, because you have to recreate the music in a digital environment with like less powerful instruments, right? Because it's just at that point.
Yeah, so it's just like MIDI. But yeah, they're just like it's like Slayer's in there, Alice in Chains is in there.
That's crazy. Never knew that. I've only played Doom to the point where he got to hell, and it got way too difficult. It was just like, and it was on the Super Nintendo, so it's like once you turn it off, it's gone. You can't just come back. So it was a fun drinking game, that one.
Yeah, the interesting part is that they probably knew about it. They just like no one's ever sued them for copyright infringement.
Yeah, it's crazy. You have to cover specific people's legacies for them to sue you, it seems.
I think everyone knows, and they're just like, okay, yeah, it's a metal game. You got like metal in your game now.
Oh, we're just about out of time. Only a minute or so left. Do you have any final thoughts there, Nolan?
I'm looking forward to continuing to work together and getting some grander projects going. Maybe once you feel better.
Yeah, totally.
Create some tools to deal with your anticipation. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, man, for coming on my show.
Yeah,
it's been awesome. We've been talking about this for a long time. But
I was hoping to get Devin here. But,
yeah, it'd be kind of cool to have a whole. We call ourselves the Dream Team, the three of us, or at least I started calling us that, because we work so well together and we created some great content. It'd be kind of cool to get more people involved eventually, or some other ways that they're passionate about. I'm getting a little fed up with editing, apparently.
Yeah, we'll see. Just got to get the ball rolling. That first edit, I guess.
Yeah, like there's a couple things that are halfway edited or like 10%, at least are in the system a little bit. I just got to spend the time and have a good attitude about it or something, because it is a little bit, I got to write some scripts and then read them out, put out the edit, and then I'll probably have to re-record the audio with you, so
yeah,
just a little more work, but it shouldn't be too much. This has been the Garrett Perry Podcast, 88.7 CFUR, Nolan Allan of the Dream Team. Garrett Perry does Prince George. We got it all. See you later.